Dubai is the land of opportunities. A lot of people come here with dreams. A lot of people grow up with dreams, but only a very few among them are persistent enough to actualize them. Here we have a young Dubai-raised changemaker. He started his company at the age of just 21, and he was also named under the Middle East Forbes list of 30 under 30 and named the Young CEO of the Year. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are in conversation with Craig Fernandes, the young CEO and founder of the UAE-based startup SecureMyScholarship. Craig, welcome to True Stories.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here.
So what exactly is SecureMyScholarship? Let's get started with that.
SecureMyScholarship is an edtech platform that connects students with scholarships at universities around the world. The cost of higher education today is very, very expensive and is rising year over year. What happens is that for so many families, from so many people from middle class and working class families, they are priced out of a quality higher education. They simply can't afford it. They are told your dreams and your ambitions are too expensive, give up on them, pick something else, pick something that you can afford. We don't think that's fair, and we want to solve that. Through SecureMyScholarship, students can connect with scholarships at 400 plus universities, including almost every university in the UAE, almost every university in the UK, almost every university in Ireland, and like 200 plus universities in the US. Connect with scholarships at 70,000 courses around the world, and just help make their lives better, minimize their tuition, and make education more affordable.
So that's one massive network that you have under your umbrella. And before we dive more into SecureMyScholarship, I just want to get started with your journey. So you started a company at the age of 21. So 21 is an age when most people get done with university and think of joining an already established company or doing something more stable or secured. But how did you go about beginning a startup at the age of 21?
Actually, just to track back a little bit, I think I was 20 when we first launched. And then I turned 21 shortly after.
He's getting very precise with the metrics.
Just because you honed in on the 21. Yeah, I mean, see, honestly, truth be told, I've always been someone who has loved solving problems and building companies around that. I launched my first company when I was 14 years old. It was like a side hustle. We used to organize football tournaments around Dubai. I launched my second company when I was 18 years old. It was a travel agency. We used to bus people to away football games, put them up for a night in a hotel, then bring them back. I launched my third company when I was 19. It was a like a grocery delivery startup in the US. And then finally, my fourth company, when I was 20, 21, which is the one that you're referencing, it was my first real startup with actual cash, capital, all of that stuff. Lock and Stock, which was the company that I founded when I was 20, 21, was my fourth company. And at that point in time, I felt like, I had just finished university or was just graduating from university. I noticed this problem when I was in college myself. I said, okay, fine, this is a real problem, a real issue. Can we do something about this? Can we solve this problem? And I don't know, man. It was like a virus almost. It completely gripped me. I couldn't think about anything else. I would go to sleep thinking about Lock and Stock. I would wake up in the morning thinking about Lock and Stock. It's all I could think about. And so when I graduated from university, there was only one thing I wanted to do, which was make the app possible, bring it to life, literally.
So Lock and Stock, for those people here who are hearing it for the first time, so it is a cool concept of an app that rewards people for not using their phones.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think deeper than that, when I was in university myself, I was an econ student.
Okay.
And every once in a while, economics, I love economics. But every once in a while, economics can get a little boring. I think the classes get a little dry a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was in class one day and I remember looking around the classroom, and this is like a true story. It was like Jan 2017. And I looked around the classroom and I think there were 30 or 40 students in that class. And I kid you not, man, each and every single student in that classroom was on their phone or on their tablet or on their laptop. No one is looking up. Everyone's just looking down like this. And I thought to myself, this is an actual problem. Can we do something about this? I went home, did a whole bunch of research. Turns out it was. Keep in mind, this is 2017 as well. So no one has heard about social media addiction or digital addiction or any of this stuff, which today is very commonplace.
Of course.
In 2017, no one has heard about this. But I did a whole bunch of research, found a bunch of research articles which kind of corroborated my hypothesis, and then we went around building. With Lock and Stock, our aim was to help students stay off their phones while in class, to help them pay attention, take more notes, learn, and at the end of the day, when they're out of class, they can use the rewards that they get for offers and discounts.
Wow.
Lock and Stock is not live anymore,
Okay.
but very, very proud that in our, I think, 4 years of building Lock and Stock, we accounted for over 2 million years of cumulative time spent offline. That's 2 million years that we put back in the hands of students, of teachers, of professors, of educators, and helped enhance the learning experience.
So you found a problem that's very common among the Gen Z and millennials, turned it into a business idea and made it business. And that's impressive. And getting back to SMS, so how did you go about from Lock and Stock to SMS, which is Secure My Scholarship?
Yeah, so we actually had a small feature on the Lock and Stock mobile application. So with Lock and Stock, I think just to track back a little bit, users could go to class, lock their phones, pay attention, and take their notes and learn and whatever they do in class. And when they're done with class, they get a bunch of rewards. Now, we allowed users to use their rewards for offers and discounts. And then after that, we added jobs and internships. And then after that, we added scholarships. We were just we thought to ourselves, how can we make a student's life better? What value can we bring them? So that's kind of what we did. One day, we actually looked at our data internally. And it was very funny because almost all of our users were people based in the UAE and using the application to get offers and discounts at brands in Dubai, cinema chains or coffee shops or wherever. But suddenly, we look at our data and we see so many people applying for these scholarships from outside of the UAE, outside of Dubai, people from India, people from Pakistan, people from Sri Lanka, and they're locking their phones in these random countries where there are no offers and there are no discounts, but they're downloading the application and they're locking their phones, they're collecting rewards, and they're using these rewards to apply for scholarships. And we said to ourselves, have we stumbled upon something much bigger than what we were doing?
So you started off by finding solution for a problem that most Gen Z or millennials face in university life or school life or even work life. Turned that into a business idea, made business out of it, and now you've made the transition into something called SMS, Secure My Scholarship. So how did that transition happen?
Yeah, man, it was super interesting, actually. So Lock and Stock was really built to provide value to students in their lives. You go to class, you lock your phone, you earn rewards, and you use your rewards for offers, discounts, and then we added internships, and then we added scholarships. So that was the entire paradigm of the Lock and Stock mobile application. One day we were looking through our data on the application or just on our back end, and we noticed something super interesting. While most offers and discount redemptions came from the UAE, came from Dubai, most internship applications also came from Dubai, but that wasn't doing so well anyway. For scholarships, it was very interesting. We saw random people, random users from India, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Nepal, wherever, just other countries with no offers and no discounts, downloading the application. There's no offers, there's nothing for them. They're downloading the application, they're going to class, they're locking their phones, and they're applying for these scholarships. So we said to ourselves, wow, have we stumbled upon something so much bigger than what we had before? Helping people stay off their phones in class is great. As I mentioned earlier, in our time with Lock and Stock, we accounted for over 2 million years of total time saved, time that we put back in the hands of teachers, educators, parents, professors, students themselves. And we're very, very proud of that. But, had we by accident, I guess, because it was never our intention, but had we by accident stumbled upon something so much bigger, a chance to fundamentally change lives and help students connect with the universities of their dreams. To give you an example, 2 weeks ago, there was a student who applied through SecureMyScholarship to a university in Dubai. And she went through the motions, she submitted her application, found her university, and applied via the platform. And she walked away with a 110,000 dirham scholarship to study in Dubai. I mean, that's life-changing. There was that girl. I think a couple of days back, there was a girl from India who applied for an MBA, a scholarship for an MBA in the US, and she was funding her education with an education loan, where she was taking 60 lakhs of loan, education loan, to go and study her MBA. She applies through our platform. She receives a $28,000 scholarship. Her education loan goes from 60 lakhs to 32 lakhs. That's life-changing. So we said to ourselves, these are real life stories, and just like these, there are many, there are thousands more. But we said to ourselves, do we have an opportunity to actually fundamentally change people's lives? Right? Our mission with Secure My Scholarship is to connect students with $100 million in scholarships and change the lives of 100,000 students around the world. And we looked at everything that we had and we said, all right, Lock and Stock is cool, but if we can pull off what we want to pull off with Secure My Scholarship, not only could we build the UAE's first edtech unicorn, it's never been done before. Not only can we do that,
fingers crossed,
yes, but we could also change the lives of so many people for the better. And that's why we made that choice.
So throughout your journey, you've been changing lives of people, making an impact both business-wise and socially, which makes me very curious to the point. So you've been making differences in people's life, connecting them with dream universities, connecting people with the dream courses. But how do you guys make money? So how does the profit part come into this equation?
Yes, it's actually very simple on the revenue aspect. Universities pay us to be on the platform because at the end of the day, the platform in and of itself is a conduit between universities and students. Universities pay us to be on the platform. And then aside from that, whenever a student accepts a scholarship and then chooses to proceed with that university, the university pays us a performance-based fee for that. At the end of the day, the university is very happy because they get a student from, let's say, a lesser privileged background who's ambitious, aspirational. It makes their campus better. It makes their campus more diverse. They're very happy. They pay us a performance-based fee. They also pay us to be on the platform, and that's kind of how the model works.
So the unis are happy, the students are happy, and you guys are happy as well.
Absolutely. On that note, like with Secure My Scholarship, and just in general, building social impact ventures with a profit motive is very, very important. Because we get that question a lot. A lot of people ask me, Craig, are you guys building a non-profit? Are you guys building a charity connecting people with scholarships? But the answer is no, right? The revenue incentive and the profit incentive is very, very important. So 100%.
So that was one of the first doubts when I stumbled upon Secure My Scholarship. Like, are these guys non-profit? How do these guys make money? And another question is, you told me that you completed your university education in the United States. And of course, you had your base in Dubai as well. But how did you go about making the decision of starting a scholarship-based or even Lock and Stock or this kind of business, establishing it as a startup in the UAE instead of the US, considering US is one of the global leaders for startup ecosystem? So how did you make that decision? Why UAE?
I was an international student in the US. And I myself relied on scholarships to go to the US. In putting Lock and Stock together and just building that out, I think first and foremost, when building any startup, there are a million unknowns that you just don't know and have to figure out. It's so much easier to do that in an environment that you understand and that you know. And I know Dubai. I grew up over here. I grew up on these streets. I was born in Dubai. Spent my entire life here. So when building this out, I made the decision to come back to Dubai and then really get this off the ground. The people I knew who were going to build this with me were also based in Dubai. And so that was that.
And as a startup, like as an entrepreneur, beginning a startup, how supportive do you think the ecosystem is in the UAE, especially the governments?
It's good. It's good. It's obviously, let's be honest, like Dubai is not San Francisco and Dubai is not London. It's good and it's getting there. I think Dubai is by far the best in the Middle East, I think. And it's getting there. This just takes time. But I think from an institutional standpoint and a government standpoint, the government is doing whatever they can. But at the end of the day, it is down to startups themselves to make it work.
Exactly.
I think one of the main disadvantages here in the UAE is that the market itself is a little small, I think.
Everybody knows everybody. That's the kind of thing here.
That, and also, so when you build a startup in the United States, if you can scale it in California itself has 40 million people. If that works, you can scale it pan-US. America has 350 million people. And then you can think about going global or whatever. Here in the UAE, you have to think global from the get-go because the home market is just not that big and startups thrive on scale. So I think the challenge that a lot of startups in the UAE face is, okay, fine, you can build for the UAE, but that will not make you a billion-dollar company simply because the market does not exist. It's not big enough. So you have to think, how do we then go pan-GCC, or how do we then go pan-MENA, or how do we then go South Asia or wherever? Because that's where, volume of consumers are.
Another problem that I think a lot of startups face in the UAE is securing funding in comparison with the United States. So how did your funding journey begin, and how did it go?
Our funding journey, it began with a prayer, I suppose, and it continued with that. So the thing is, I don't come from a business family or whatever. I come from a very proper middle class family. Both my parents were salaried employees. My entire family, in fact, is a family of salaried employees. So when we had to raise capital, I didn't have a rich uncle that I could just call to put in or write us a check and fund the company. I think in terms of raising capital, it's really just a matter of persistence and also being told no time and time again. I think we were probably told no 100 times before maybe even anyone considered investing in the company. We had to go through 100 no's to even get to that point. We tried to raise capital in 2019. We tried to raise capital in 2020, both of which were unsuccessful. We finally raised capital in 2021. And then we take it from there.